From the land of conjurers, flying through the internet to your device like a UAP, hauntingly unexplained and downright weird. This is the witching hours, and we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever and whenever you're listening to our program. I am John the Frost, and joining me as always is the medium Ginny Lee. How are you doing, Ginny?
Well, I have to say that even though I was kind of in and out of your stream last night where you were making
Mhm.
the new video, I didn't really get to see it all and its finished finale there. And it
Yeah.
made me very happy to like see the little different guests pop up, Allison and Joe and Preston, and we put Mike on there. We just had him on. It was
Yeah.
like that might be, that might go down as one of my favorites anyway. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I think I'm going to add some more in there.
Hmm.
Just because I don't know, it's fun to see all the people we've had on because like
Yeah.
we've made all these friends, like so
Yeah.
many. I don't know, you guys don't get to see. I don't know, maybe I can't because the whole point of having the after thing is we're not recording. We get to talk
Yeah.
about stuff a little bit, but we have some really good conversations with people after the show's over about the show, and then a lot of times they just want to keep talking and
Yeah.
with us. So
Mike didn't want to
we
stop talking last week.
yeah, we talked to Mike prior for the 2020 or
He was
2025
like, well, I
minutes
guess
of
I
the
better
show.
let you guys go now.
So it's so nice to get the reminder of all the friends we've made as we've
Yeah.
done this show. Well, I was talking when we were making that video the other day. We're coming up. This will be 3 years in October. So we've got 2.5 years of this thing we've been doing.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
okay.
Keisha,
So,
right?
yeah. But what I was going to say is I think I want to keep working on it and shorten down some of the other stuff and add more guests in because there's just so many people I want to have in there. And we got to have our Allison Priestess of
Yes.
Wonderland in here. And I
Hmm.
love how it worked out because she's like the first one and you both are waving. So it's like the hello. It's really
Yeah.
nice. I like it. Okay. So if you haven't noticed, we're missing a guest.
I
And
know.
that's because Ali Cardinale emailed me and to let me know that he has food poisoning and he was very sorry, but wouldn't be able to make it in tonight. He was not doing well. He said he was putting it on the phone while he was still hurting. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So, but he wants me to get with him later in the week and reschedule him because he said he really wants to come on, and we really want to have him on. So we hope that he feels better soon. Food poisoning is no fun. I think we all know
I
that.
know. No, yeah, it's not.
So it was. So we decided that we were going to just come on, maybe do some news, hang out a little bit, talk about some of the things we want to talk to Ali about when we reschedule him for this summer. I'm imagining that he'll be in July. We're booked. We have most of the summer booked, but we have some spots in July, so I'm hoping we can fit him in there, and it's going to be a good conversation. And this was an extra episode this week. We still have our Thursday episode that we'll talk
Yes.
about a little bit, and then we'll just kind of have a little bit, maybe of an early night tonight. So
Yeah.
there we go.
That's
Uh,
sad.
I know I was really looking forward to it, but it's not. It'll just be another night, which probably means another Tuesday show because I don't think he can do
Yes, he
Thursdays.
can't do Thursdays. So there'll be another Tuesday witching hours in July at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah. So
Hopefully in
just
July. Yeah.
more fun.
Yeah.
Um, so
Well,
are we
actually,
ready?
since he can't do Thursdays, it could be whenever he's ready, really,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
because
So we could do it
yeah,
sooner. Yeah,
it
you're
doesn't
right.
matter that June is booked up
That it's booked up.
because
And
he
for
has
us,
to do
it's the summer.
Tuesdays. And yeah, it's going to be the summer after
hmm
tomorrow for my children and after Friday for you.
Yeah, we'll be on that summer schedule.
So maybe we can get them booked sooner than we think.
Um, so how is everyone doing tonight? Want to say hello to everyone who's hanging out with us. Welcome in, Keisha. Welcome in. Welcome in. Journey of Self Discovery. My Selena, all the people who were helping me with the video last Monday. So I'm glad, I was like, I'm
Yesterday.
gonna get it.
That was only yesterday. You said
Yeah.
last Monday.
Oh.
How long has your day been?
Does that tell you how long my Tuesday's been?
It's just yesterday.
Look, I'm telling you, it's the last week of school. It's the last week of school.
Oh,
We're on to
goodness.
full-blown movie mode.
Yeah.
And while that's fun, it makes for a really, really long day.
Yes.
Yes, yesterday.
That was
Last
just
night.
yesterday.
Oh, I tell you. Well, that tells you where I'm at. But welcome in, everyone. Thanks so much for coming and joining us tonight. Welcome in.
Here's some news from Woo Writers over
Yeah.
on YouTube. Not sure if y'all saw, but actress Kate Hudson came out and said she sees ghosts all the time. I find it interesting. More and more people in the limelight are speaking up on the overall phenomena.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Thomas Jones, actor, is making the round also on Aliens.
Yep. It's weird as getting to be the new normal. All your kids graduate pre-K on Friday. That's so sweet, Woo Writers.
Yeah.
So
It's
sweet.
definitely become
Pre-K is a fun time.
It's definitely become more mainstream. More people
Yeah.
talking about. They've even had the TV show that was like celebrities talking about their ghost experiences and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so there's been lots going on with that. Speaking of which, I guess we can go ahead and get to the news.
Yeah. Hey, Nan Getty.
All right. I think it was last week we were talking about orcas, and they were sinking boats.
Yes. They're getting a little deadly. More deadly than normal.
Orcas are still smashing up boats, but now we may know why. For 4 years now, orcas have been ramming and sinking luxury yachts in European waters, and scientists have struggled to work out just why these smart social animals had learned these destructive tricks. But sadly, it's not their anti-capitalist eat the rich agenda, nor is it to the territory and aggression. The truth is, it could be child's play. Following years of research, a team of biologists, government officials, and marine
Are they
industry
hanging out with
representatives
Chucky? Is that what's going on?
have released their findings on just why one particular Orcinus orca group has developed this destructive streak. And it turns out orcas, especially the kids and teens, want to have fun.
It's teenage orcas wreaking havoc on the oceans. That makes sense.
Well, I told you that it was a long day, right? The report reveals that a combination of free time, curiosity, and natural playfulness has led to young orcas adopting this trend of boat bumping, which is not at all surprising for a species that has been known to adopt odd, isolated behaviors from time to time. In recent years, a dramatic recovery in the population of bluefin tuna in the region has been a win for a group of about 40 critically endangered Iberian killer whales that feed exclusively on the large fish. This has meant they've cut down their time spent foraging, leaving space for other hobbies.
Oh, just like people do.
Yeah. In addition, climate change could be playing a role, leading to these tuna being in the Gulf of Cadiz continuously rather than seasonally. The scientists noted this year-round abundance means that there appears to no longer be a need for the whales to pursue every fish encountered. So essentially, it looks like they've had abundance, and it gives them more time to play. And sinking yachts is what they do for fun.
Damn teenagers. I mean, it's like cow tipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Human teenagers like to go tip over cows, being assholes. I guess orcas like to go boat bumping. We'll bump for tunas.
Well, it's like I like to do a lecture from time to time on holidays because so many people like kind of just don't, they celebrate the holidays, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
And I always talk about on Halloween, like the whole origin of trick or treating is because kids were burning down the neighborhoods, burning cars, and so trick or treating becomes a way to keep them busy on Halloween night.
Give them candy so they won't burn the place down.
Yeah. So maybe maybe they have to go out there and put some beach balls out there for the orcas or something. I don't know.
That's what I say when I go to substitute. I'm just here to
What
make
the-
sure they don't burn the place down.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And I guess that's
Um,
true. That's true.
yeah.
That's a true statement.
Doomsday coming soon. 48% believe they'll live to see climate change destroy Earth.
That's a
The end of
lot.
the-
48%.
Yeah, the end of the world may
Almost
be
half.
coming.
Half of us.
Yeah, the end of the world may be coming a lot sooner than some people think if the climate doomsayers are right. According to a new survey, nearly half of Americans believe climate change will devastate the planet during their lifetime.
Oh, just half
There's-
of Americans.
The
Okay.
survey of 5,000 Americans, split evenly by state, revealed that 48% of all correspondents believe they'll live to see climate change ravage the entire world. Respondents in Hawaii were the most likely to agree, with 66%, with Americans in Vermont, 59%, and New Mexico, 56%, rounding out the top three states most concerned about the effects of climate change. I thought of, well, more than half the respondents in Washington state, 55%, in Minnesota, 54%, also believe they'll still be alive when our climate reaches catastrophic levels. Hawaiians were again the most concerned, with 61% believing climate change will be worse for their state than the others, which I guess I could see being a chain of islands. This time, followed by Alaskans, 55%, and Californians, 54%. Those in Louisiana, 53%, in New York, 49%, were also concerned about their impact on their state. So,
Yep.
well, some of that's been talked about for a long time, and it was interesting to think about, because one of the first, this has been something that's been talked about for a long time, especially on programs like this, and this is why the Witching Hours and all the other paranormal podcast or weird podcast things that are talking about these things are important, because now that's a mainstream news article.
Yeah.
But I remember that being on Coast to Coast in 1998.
Yeah.
And it being
When it
like
was
fringe
still
science.
on the fringe of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about weather pattern changes and ocean temperature changes. And it wasn't political in terms of like, blame. It was like trying to figure out what's going on, are the things going on. And so I think, that to me, that's been one of the things that I've always had in the back of my mind, was the things that we talk about on this show could be mainstream news, 10 years from now. So one thing to think about. The Pope clears way for God's influencer to become a saint.
God's influencer. What is that?
A London-born teenager whose proficiency at spreading the teachings of the Catholic Church online led him to being called God's influencer is set to become a saint. Carlos Acutis, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, died in 2006 at the age of 15.
Oh, no.
Meaning he would be the first millennial, or person born in the early 1980s to late 1990s, to be canonized. It follows Pope Francis attributing a second miracle to him. It involved the healing of a university student in Florence who had bleeding on their brain after suffering head trauma. Carlos had been beatified, the first step towards sainthood, in 2020, after he was attributed with his first miracle, healing a Brazilian child of a congenital disease affecting his pancreas. The second miracle was approved by the Pope following a meeting with the Vatican's saint-making department. It is not yet known when he will be canonized. The teenager died in Monza in Italy after being diagnosed with leukemia, having spent much of his childhood in the country. As well as designing websites for his parish and school, he became known for launching a website seeking to document every reported Eucharistic miracle, which was launched days before his death.
Wow.
His nickname, God's Influencer, has been attributed to him after his death due to his work. His website has now been translated into several different languages and used as the basis for an exhibition which has traveled around the world For something to be deemed a miracle, it typically requires an act seen to be beyond what is possible in nature, such as through the sudden healing of a person deemed to be near death.
Wow. That is a story. That is a story.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for us or not, but dealing with the miracle part, I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. We have miracles being, miracles happening every day, and they're still being attributed. This one from CBS News: veterans who served at secret base say it made them sick, but they can't get aid because the government won't acknowledge that they were. So, veterans who served.
Oh, story of America. That's American as apple pie right there. What was the secret base? Where is it?
Veterans who served at a secret base say it made them sick, but they can't get aid because the government won't acknowledge that they were there. In the mid-1980s, Air Force technician Mark Elley's job was to inspect secretly obtained Soviet fighter jets. The work carried out in hidden hangars known as hush houses was part of a classified mission in the Nevada desert, 140 miles outside of Las Vegas at the Tonopah Test Range, sometimes referred to as Area 52. The mission was so under wraps that Elley said he had to sign a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Upholding the national interest is more important than my own life, Elley told CBS News, and that's not just talk. Elley was in his 20s and physically fit when he was working at the secret base. Now 63 and living in Naperville, Illinois, he's confronting life-threatening consequences from radiation he says he was exposed to. For decades, the U.S. government conducted nuclear bomb tests near Area 52, according to a 1975 federal environmental assessment. Those tests scattered toxic radioactive material nearby. It scarred my lungs. I got cysts on my liver. I started having tumors inside my body. I had to remove my lining, and my bladder was shed, he said. Yeah. All these years later, his service records include many assignments, but not the mission inside of the test range, meaning he can't prove he was ever there. There's a slogan that people say, deny, deny until you die. Kind of true here, he told CBS News. Dave Crete says he also worked as a military police officer at the same site. He now has breathing issues, including chronic bronchitis, and he had to have a tumor removed from his back. He spent the last 8 years tracking down hundreds of other veterans who worked at Area 52 and said he's seen all kinds of cancers. While the government's 1975 assessment acknowledged toxic chemicals in the area, it said that stopping work ran against the national interest, and the costs were small and reasonable for the benefits that would be received. Other government employees who were stationed in the same area, mainly from the Department of Energy, have been aided by a $25.7 billion in federal assistance, according to publicly available statistics from the Department of Labor. But those benefits don't apply to Air Force veterans like Elley and Crete. It makes me incredibly mad, and it hurts me too, because they're supposed to have my back, Elley said. I had theirs, and I want them to have mine. When contacted for comment, the Department of Defense confirmed Elley and Crete served, but would not say where.
You would think that if they wanted to keep all of this secret stuff a secret, that they would have just made sure that the people were taken care of, so that never had to happen, where they have to get called out and be like, hey, I'm pretty messed up here, like, just handle it. What's wrong with you? Ay. CMC was saying that's where the stealth fighter was based out of too.
Yeah. F-117 stealth fighter. Yeah, it's upsetting, because I get exactly what those guys are saying. There's such an ideal of camaraderie in the military. And so those the quote there kind of hit hard, because it was like, they were expecting the military, now that they're going through all this, to have their back, and instead they're being shunned. So It's not the first time, and I doubt it will be the last.
Mm. No bueno.
Yeah. Well, as we were saying earlier, Ali Cardinale couldn't make it on tonight. We're going to reschedule him and have him on as soon as we possibly can, and we're really looking forward to having him on the show tonight. If you aren't
Yeah.
familiar with Ali, well, he used to stream over here with us on Twitch for a while.
He does every
So
once in a while still.
yeah, and so I think the streams that I caught were a while back, but he's got some really interesting things going on, and I'm really curious to talk to him because he delves into a little bit of things that we haven't touched on in this program when it
Yeah.
comes to magic and when it comes to mediumship, and he's not afraid to, from what it seems like, to dive into the darker side of things, referring to himself as a dark medium, as in talking about things like voodoo, witchcraft, folk magic, hexes, all of those kinds of things. And I think that's interesting because we've had a lot of questions. I know I have had some of my chat over on Giant of the Frost, and I know you have too in your Twitch channel too about hexes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Curses and hexes. Yeah.
so I would like to get some of his input on that because he has a lot
Yeah.
of experience there. And it's obviously a topic that a lot of people are interested in. So I'm hoping to try to get some more information out there. So I have a whole page of I have a whole bunch of questions to talk to him about.
Yeah, and he has a school, when I was saying. Yeah.
Yes, he has the school. I was looking on there. It looks like he has some classes going this summer. So hopefully we'll get him on. And if that's something folks are interested in, they can get over there before that's going to kick up. So that's going to be real fun. We couldn't do it tonight, but I'm sure we'll be doing it sooner rather than
Pretty
later.
sure our friend Kitchen Bound Lex has taken some classes with him because she's streamed with him before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting too because as I was doing a little bit of research on what he's doing, one of the things that he was talking about on his YouTube was being able to read other mediums, which is going to be a question for him. But it seemed like possibly like being able to know like what spirit guides they use and like how they access their information. So it could be kind of interesting, being that we have you on this program to kind of see if we can get a little play on that too.
Yeah.
While he's on. I don't know. We'll see. So that's going to be a fun episode when we get that rescheduled.
When he feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tonight, if you're joining us a little late, tonight's going to be a short one, but we decided that we wanted to come on. We didn't want to just
cancel,
delete it and move on. So we thought we'd come on, do the news, hang out for a little bit, talk, and say hi to all you wonderful people out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we were thinking about playing some Baldur's Gate, but we just decided to go ahead and do the witching hours tonight anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow's dog to the vet day, so it's a little stressful around here. Hi,
Yeah.
Sheepy.
Yeah. So we're gonna get going. I'm gonna go over the calendar here in a minute. We got a lot of people coming up, and we have some repeats coming too. A lot of new people, a lot of repeat people. You have a vet day tomorrow too, Sheepy.
Boo.
Yeah,
It's no fun.
Those
not
are not
fun for anybody, pets and people included.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's coming on Thursday?
So Thursday we're going to have psychic empath Raven Willow on. So we're going to have her on. I'll read her about me here a little bit. A psychic who has connections with all energies on Earth. She communicates with beings from all over the universe and help people discover their lives by taking you through all of the past lives, including your past experiences in this life. She helps people tap into their own gifts. This helps you have a true understanding of your higher self, whatever level that you're comfortable with. Some are not ready for Akashic records yet, but you may just need to deal with a spirit or haunting. I can heal through both those realms So she specializes in helping clear that and heal that, and specifically had mentioned wanting to talk about the Akashic records. So that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one coming up Thursday.
Yeah.
We're going to get
Sounds
into the Akashic records.
she does a lot of similar things that I do,
Mhm.
which would be interesting to talk to her about because that's not always necessarily true of other mediums. So,
Yes.
yeah, like to be able to talk to somebody else who talks to
Mhm.
different beings from all over the universe.
Beings from all over the universe. And I said, well,
Yes.
this will be a perfect guest for the witching hours.
Mhm. How does this happen for you? Yeah.
Yeah, and has published some books and does art as well.
There you go.
So that's gonna be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. So we have more coming up for you this week.
Who's on next week? Who's on first?
Um,
Who's on second?
so that'll bring us into June.
Yep.
We're going to have Sophia Demas on the 6th, talking about divine intelligence.
Mhm.
We're going to have Risa Miller on the 13th. She is a specialist in witchcraft and the history of witchcraft as well.
Ooh.
So we'll be kind of diving into the history, different historical witch stories, and different points in American history.
I know you're
So
gonna love that.
maybe we can talk a little bit about the Pongo witch. We'll see what she knows about that, and
How do you
also
know she's a witch?
and actually, let me see if I can check out her. She has a website called Tea and Smoke. I'll put it in here. Just put it in the chat, just so if people want to check it out, they can for an upcoming guest here. And she does all kinds of things, private readings. She has worked on podcasts and stuff like that. So that's going to be an interesting guest to have on to talk about different types of divination. So like reading tea leaves and some things that we haven't necessarily talked about or practiced yet. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so that'll be an interesting one. We're going to have we're going to have John Koenig on the week after that. I had actually
The tea leaves things make me think of in Harry Potter. The Grim.
yeah, we have lots of stuff going on there. I was actually trying to see real quick because I had put a yeah. So we got that coming up, and then we have Cheryl Costa is going to be coming
Well,
back on the 20th.
who was the John guy?
27th.
What does he do?
I just booked him a couple weeks ago, and I'm drawing him. I have to bring up my thing.
You're like, then we have John.
Yeah, John.
And then we have like, what does he do?
Oh yeah, the certified hypnotist, and he yeah,
Oh.
certified hypnotist, and talks about going through past lives. He has an autobiography that he did, and an introduction to past life exploration for personal and spiritual growth. So that's interesting. Because we were supposed to have someone on who did QHHT. So this will be kind of a way for us to jump in and learn a little bit about what's going on with the
Hypnosis stuff.
Looking into past lives. So that's going to be an interesting one. We have Cheryl Costa coming on the 27th.
Ooh, Cheryl's coming back.
And we struck a deal with her again this time. I said, when I invited her back to the show, I said, hey, it's been a year. I would really like to have you on again. Let's make a deal, because last time I wanted to talk about UFOs, and when you found out we had a medium on the show, you wanted to talk about witchcraft. So let's have you on, and let's do a half and half again. We'll talk a little bit about what's been going on, and what you've been doing in the UFO world, and then we'll also dive into more stuff in witchcraft and in the paranormal world.
And I've
we'll
read
do that.
her short story book. I would like to talk to her about that.
Yep. So we have some, and we have some booked into July too, but we'll get there when we get there. So we're still booking. And I also always remind people, I always see names pop up. But if you want, and let me see if I have made that, because I keep saying I'm going to put, yes.
Yeah, you think you did. Yeah.
If you go into the witching hours over on Discord, and you go all the way to the very bottom of the witching hours, there's a guest or topic suggestions. So if you have someone you've seen on another podcast that you would like to possibly ask some questions live to, or someone you would like to see again that's been on the show, or a book that you've read or whatever, feel free to go over there, put that suggestion in there, because I can usually at least find the person and invite them. I can't guarantee that they'll accept it, but things have been going pretty good. We haven't had a whole lot of people have been very willing to come on and talk to us, so it's been really nice.
Yeah.
Welcome in, linguist. Welcome in, Amber. How are y'all doing?
Hey.
So that's what we have coming up.
Wondering why it says we've been streaming for 3 hours and 35 minutes when it's only been 35 minutes.
Oh, does it say that we've been streaming for that long?
Yeah, look up at the top corner of the StreamYard and also look at the Twitch.
For me, it says live 35 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mine says 3 hours and 35 minutes, and so does Twitch. 3 hours and 35 minutes.
Not me. It just says 35 minutes. Maybe you've been live for 3 hours. Did you click on something?
Hey, Rude3, how are you? Does the Discord link work? I don't know. Does it? Thank you, Keisha, for sharing the correct Discord link.
I keep changing the Discord links, and I keep putting them in there, and supposedly they're all still active.
That happens to me too.
It's a never-ending battle with the Discord links. And then somehow, like, we have the old Giant of the Frost Discord channel. It's just like our hangout and play games with the kids, and and somehow I'll still get people who want to join our Discord pop in over there. And I've gone like everywhere to try to make sure that all those links are down, and it still happens. So
yeah. I understand why sometimes the links work and sometimes they don't.
That's actually a good idea, Woo Riders Dog. If anybody has any questions that they want to ask about the show or anything tonight, feel free, because we have a little bit extra time. Woo Riders said, "What is y'all's favorite topic on the phenomena, on just paranormal in general?" I think I can. Well, let's do this. Let's do it the opposite, Jenny. Let's have fun with this. I'm going to say what your favorite topic is, or what I think your favorite topic is.
Okay.
And you tell them what you think my favorite topic is in the paranormal.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
I want to say that Medium Jenny Lee's favorite paranormal topic is time travel.
And I think yours is aliens. UFOs.
Okay. Was I right?
Was I right?
Yeah, I think pretty much. I think UFOs is the thing that gets me going the most. But there's so many. There's so many I get interested in.
Time travel is my favorite. Like that, time travel is like the thing I get the most excited about when it's like even just like something fictional, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, but time travel doesn't come up as much when you're talking about like, you know, people really doing stuff. Like you're always like, how come we haven't had a time traveler on yet? I'm like, it's like, you know,
I'm ready for a time traveler.
It doesn't really.
They need to come on the show.
Really
if it's happening, there's there's somebody out there. Let's do a time travel. Yeah. I was watching a video today on Madman Markham. And man, that is so a time traveler.
No, he's
and it is a fascinating story. I might do this summer. I'm going to pop out some witching hour stories.
Yes.
If people aren't familiar, I've got 2 of them. They've been far in between, but I'm going to get some done this summer where I just kind
We
of
need some
do.
more weird hauntings too.
Yeah, we're going to do some weird hauntings. I want to just kind of go over some paranormal stories that have kind of been shared over the years, whether it was coast to coast or whether they're just kind of like popular government conspiracies, like the Philadelphia experiment, things like that. And I think Madman Markham might be one of them. So that would be interesting.
What is everybody else's favorite topic? Tell us in the chat. What's your favorite paranormal, supernatural, weird topic? Keisha's been waiting forever for your more weird stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them. There'll be more time here soon.
What is taking so long? School,
Yeah.
work, what?
Yeah, getting all those highlights out. That's
Making sure all those teenagers don't burn the building down.
burn the building down. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, so I want to work more on those. So, but yeah, there's some fun stuff out there. Mel's Hole, I think, was one we were talking about recently. We can kind of dive down if you're not familiar with that
Yeah,
story.
you keep mentioning Mel's Hole, and I'm like, most people probably have no idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Luna said, beings and deities. His favorite. Yes. It's less about the phenomena as it is about the guests. Mark and Mike really blew my mind, but so did Corby. Cool, Keisha. Did we interview a time traveler on episode 1262?
1267. Yeah, we'll find out one day when we get there.
1267. Road Dave 3, are you a time traveler?
There we go.
Did we interview you on 1267?
Yeah, that's the fun of being able to have open lines, which you want to incorporate down the line.
Yes.
You never know. You never know
1267.
if someone tells a good story. You know, the way I look at it is like this, and I've probably said this before, but sometimes to me, the truth is important.
Yes.
And the truth is important on this show. But sometimes a good story is just as good as the truth.
Like Mel's Hole.
Yeah.
Mel's Hole is so unbelievable that it could just be a story, but it's a really fun story. It's a super fun story.
And then you get into the whole aspect of creating and manifesting. And so when these stories are told over and over again,
there probably is a Mel's Hole now, even if there wasn't before.
You know, I don't know. So that's interesting to think about.
Just like the phenomena of what is it? I know I'm gonna forget. There's like a weird, scary monster cryptid thing that was never talked about or seen before until recently. Somebody put it out on the internet and like it blew up, and now people see them all over the place. And it's like, did we just manifest it collectively because we talked about it so much, we looked at it so much, we listened to it, we thought about it, we dreamed about it, I can't remember which one it is now, but yeah, never let the facts get in the way of a good story. unless you're CMC is gonna call your ass out.
Well, that's the best part of it. That's the best part of it. You know, I can't prove that anybody who comes on this, so many of the guests we've had and so many of the guests we're going to have in the future, They're on to share their experiences and they're on to share
Mhm.
their stories, and it's up for everyone individually to determine what they believe and what they don't believe. This is just a
Yes.
vehicle for that. This is just a
Mhm.
vehicle for a venue for those stories to be shared. And I'll give you a good example of that. I talked about it on the stream last night, but a lot of people weren't there, so I'll repeat it for those who were there last night. Weeks ago, when I had that stream last night,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
we our video, the highlight that was talking about the missing time that Mike Clellan had. Um, there were quite a few stories that people shared in the comments section about their missing time.
Yes.
Um, and so that was really cool because that's exactly what I want this show to be, and I think a lot of you would agree with me. Is creating a venue, creating a group where people can come talk about those things that maybe they can't talk about with every day with people they know or at work or
Yeah.
with their friend group, whatever it is. And they can come and in the comments section or come on the show and chat and talk about their experiences with missing time. And there were some absolutely fascinating stories over there. As a matter of fact, if we want to, Jenny, we could I could bring them up and we could talk about them.
Yeah, we could read some of
Um,
them. It
let me
wasn't it wasn't Mimics, Luna. That wasn't the one I was thinking of. I think that that's a for real thing. Um it's like it's a newer one. I'm trying to look it up, but now I
oh
can't. Now I can't
we
find
had
it.
a we had a new one since the last time I checked in, so
Oh,
I'll
cool.
have to read that one over. But let me get down here to the beginning. Um, we've had a couple that have popped up that I hadn't even seen. Um, so something similar happened to me a few years ago, but it went from just after 12 a.m. to almost 3 a.m. The road I was on went from full of people to a ghost town in the snap of a second. I twisted my ankle, but as far as I could tell, it happened in a misstep in a crosswalk. I know that I didn't stand in a busy street crosswalk for 2 hours and no one said anything. It was like I jumped in time. Sounds crazy. Not going to say that's what happened, but that was my observation. So this person was walking across a crosswalk, twisted their ankle. It was a busy street. When they got back up from twisting their ankle, everyone was gone, and it was 3 hours later.
That's very strange.
Um, trying to find some of the other ones.
Keisha
There's
was
so
saying
many.
she just watched something that said all the entities, Bigfoot, cryptids, Mothman, are all
Mm-hmm.
ETs. It's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. The Bigfoot, the cryptids are all ETs. I mean, it's very possible. I mean, we've seen all kinds just from your channelings. We've seen all different kinds. So just because it doesn't have a big head with almond shaped eyes doesn't mean it's not extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Um, so another one, as this happened to me, I was driving home with my mother, and there was a deer struggling to stand on the side of the road. We stopped, and it's a bit fuzzy in my mind, but the deer got up and ran. It was about 11:30 p.m. when we got home. It was about 11:30 p.m. when they had that incident, and when we got home, it was after 3 a.m. So once again, they were missing about 3 hours of time. And both of those stories, when they got there, it was what?
The witching hours.
The witching hour.
Yeah. So weird. Missing time is a very strange thing. Very, very strange. Yes, thank you, Keisha. case you didn't know, Witching Hours has got up to 150 subs on YouTube and has over 10,000 views on one recent short and 15.6 thousand views on the same TikTok short from Mike from last week. It was
Yeah.
so exciting.
People really enjoyed. Yeah. Well, and that was the wonderful thing is just that highlight and hearing somebody share their story of missing time created a safe place for people to share their stories that they might not feel
Mhm.
comfortable saying somewhere else. And that's exactly what we're here. Here's a new one we have. I have a crazy, absolutely true story if you want to hear it. It still freaking trips me out. And I'm 54 now. So when I was 15, I believe my friend and I had something happen to us that I will never, ever forget in my life. And I really hope I can find out more as to why. As God is my witness and on my love for my daughter, what I'm about to say is 110% the truth, as I remember. So I had a huge bedroom, and late this one night, about 3 to 3:30 a.m.,
Witching Hour.
I was in my bed, and my friend was asleep in my other bed directly across from me. When I swear to God, it was like some weird force happened that not only woke both of us up, but literally sat us up both straight from our beds. And we were just staring at each other and confused. What just happened? And I could tell he was thinking the same thing. I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, and when I turned to look, said to my friend, if you're out there reading this, please. So they were asking to possibly talk to us. Anyway, in my bedroom doorway, what I could see was only described as a short black figure that seemed rather wide. And they both remember it to this day. He goes on to talk about the beings kind of running around and bumping into each other. And the story goes on. It's a long story, and I haven't pre-read it, so I'll let that go figure out. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So lots of stories that are shared. So there's a few new ones since the last time I checked it.
You know what would be kind of cool is to like we do the ghost stories for our Halloween episode.
Mhm.
If we just did like a whole episode where it's all collected, like stories like that, like missing time and
Yeah.
very, the high strangeness.
Yeah, we have to get a viral video
We'd have
of
to
sharing your stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then just like we did with the ghost ones where we just record them and put them together.
No, that's exactly what I would love to do for our Halloween special.
Yeah.
To have a huge collection of ghost stories or just paranormal stories in general that people would like to share, and make it a sit down and turn down the lights and grab your beverage of choice and kind of listen to the stories. But I guess we have to get some viral videos to get those stories. So so maybe we can work on that between now and Halloween for our next Halloween special. And for those who aren't familiar, the Halloween special is also our
anniversary
for the show. So that's a special night here.
3 years.
That'll be 3 years this year.
Here's one from Luna. The story of this girl that went to sleep and lived an entire lifetime in her dreams until she died, and then she returned to this reality. That's crazy. Wow.
Just CMC said, I just had a sudden and urgent thought. Have you thought about bringing a guest that specializes on past family members that have come back as birds or other animals?
We have not, but that was something that Mike was talking a lot about last week, about people seeing owls after somebody in their family died and then talking to the owl like it was their person, like really feeling like it was their person coming to visit. Yeah.
And I have heard stories of people that think that like their children and stuff like that are family members that were reincarnated. Past grandparents and parents and stuff like that. So that would be interesting. Now we did have what Corby Mitlide was talking about, how she thought she had reincarnated cats, right? Because she had one that was like
Yes,
the
she
fourth.
had
Mhm,
one, yeah, that passed and came back as the next. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Hmm.
And then this time, they said that they wouldn't be back again. That was her last time as a cat.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sheepy said,
we're canceling each other out. We're both clicking on it at the same time. Now I'm going to click on it. Now I'm going to click on it.
my mom has a story about owl superstitions she witnessed when she was younger. Now that I think about it, have you
Mm,
checked out last week's show, Sheepy?
that's a
That
good
was
one.
last Thursday. It was very interesting. We had the
The
owl
owl
guy,
guy.
and he used to do a podcast with Whitley Strieber. And if you're not familiar with Whitley Strieber, uh, there's some interesting things to know about Whitley Strieber because he is the UFO guy, or at
Yeah.
least the alien. I won't say the UFO guy. He's the alien abduction guy.
Yeah.
He wrote the book Communion, uh, and was really ostracized for his coming out and talking about it. Usually, if you hear something derogatory about someone who is abducted, especially when they talk about, well, like the anal probes and stuff like that, that
Hmm.
is coming from Whitley Strieber's story, and he
Yeah.
is an absolutely fascinating individual. He's had many shows. He actually had his own radio show that still goes on as a podcast today called Dreamland. And Dreamland on the weekend, the host was Art Bell, um, and he and Art Bell and Whitley Strieber have many shows together. If you're ever interested in hearing Whitley Strieber's story on that, and there's also a documentary you watched recently about that, Jenny. I can't remember what that was on. Was
It
that just
was,
on Netflix?
I think was it on Netflix? I don't know. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, there was just a documentary about Whitley Strieber that was done fairly recently. Um,
Yeah, we just watched it like within the last 6 months. Um, hmm. Why is it whenever I try to find something, I can't find it? It's like it should be the first thing that pops up, and it's not.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it was right off the top of my head. We just watched it. I feel like,
Was it The Visitors?
yeah, it
Shock
probably was.
Shock Docs The Visitors. Came on Discovery Plus, which makes
Okay, there we
sense.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
it. For the first time in nearly 40 years, Whitley Strieber agrees to return to the stone circle
Yes,
that
that's it.
marks the spot of his first abduction, while investigative journalists and UFO researchers conduct a paranormal investigation. So that's definitely, if you haven't checked that out, if you have Discovery, that's definitely worth checking out.
Keisha said that she's been remembering a lot more encounters since the show last week. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And
I just remember. Oh, go ahead.
Rewriters, thank you. Said, gonna help y'all's channel grow. I can respect good vibes. Thanks.
Yeah, all about good vibes here.
Yeah.
We like to get spooky, but it's all about creating that place where people can talk about things, and we've got it here. We've got it here. We're told that by so many of our guests who come on.
Yeah.
When I first started the show, I was nervous. I'm like, are people going to want to talk to us? I mean, I don't know. I'm a history guy. I went to school for history. I guess I learned how to interview a little bit for like oral histories and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to do this or not, but we'll give it a shot. And we've gotten a lot of good feedback from all our guests, and they all want to come back on. So I guess we're doing an okay job, I guess.
I think that the fact that we're both, teachers also makes us personable. Yeah. We're used to being able to talk to anybody and everybody. Here's a story from Luna. My mother witnessed a sphere encounter when she was pregnant with me, not me, Luna. She was going in a remote church up in the mountains, and she was going to bathe in blessed waters. When she arrived at the stream in the mountains, she was lost, and a white donkey appeared to show her the way. She told me it was mystical because she had never saw it, and it vanished. Wow. That's
Wow.
an awesome story, Luna. Yeah, like first of all, who's ever seen a white donkey? Second of all, why is it they're just a random one just hanging out in the woods? And then it like helps her get unlost.
Mhm.
Like that wasn't a donkey.
It's funny how these
wasn't really a
memories.
donkey.
It's funny how these memories come back to us sometimes too. Like
Mhm.
Kisa was just saying that she started remembering some things after last week's episode. And sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I feel like there's these things that are just on the edge of my brain
Mhm.
that, I try to recall and I just can't. So the whole hypnotic regression and stuff like that is very interesting too, because it's so easy to rationalize those things as you grow. Even as a child, you try to explain those things away and then you just forget them.
Yeah, that's something that I've been finding myself doing, doing all these podcasts where people are asking me questions, that I'm starting to like think back through my memory bank, and I keep pulling up more and more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That story I shared on the on Peter's podcast. The oh shoot, I can't think of anything tonight. The most recent one that I just did that came out. The story I shared on his podcast about touching the sculpture in the art museum, like I had kind of forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it's like I didn't forget about it, but like it's like I didn't put it in the category of, hey, this should have been a sign that there was something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Transcendent Minds, that's what it was.
Transcendent Minds.
Yeah.
That was a good podcast, by the way.
Yes, he was an excellent interviewer, very thorough, had wonderful questions. Really did a lot of research and looking into like who I was and what I did. And yeah, it was I really enjoyed talking to him. I hope that we can do a show with him sometime, because he has a near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
But he lives in the UK, so it probably have to be one of those deals where we do it at a different time and day.
I've already contacted him, and we've
Yeah.
already touched base, and we've already decided that we're going to do it at a different time so that he can make it. So probably be an earlier day stream.
Yeah,
that we'll
like
do for
we
that.
had Chat to Charlie on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, we could do the same thing for Peter.
Yeah, and it'll be summer for us, so we might try to make it the weekend just so that more people can attend. So we're not, so we'll try to get it when you guys aren't at work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have that coming up, and that'll be fascinating because, well, when we first started talking about having other podcast hosts on, like recently we did, the Typical Skeptic podcast, and I was like, not necessarily UFO investigators or people who deal with who are in the paranormal field, like going and doing investigations, or working mediums or psychics, but they talk to so many people who are. I think a lot of times they're just as fascinating as because they've heard so many stories themselves, and it's about getting the information out there. So.
Yeah, I enjoyed our conversation with Rob.
Yeah, Rob was great.
Typical Skeptic,
and just a lot of information, and he does a lot of interviews. So,
well, like you said, you were watching him the other day, and one podcast ended, and then he started another one right after it.
Yeah, so he's someone else to follow for sure. And it's and sometimes I'll go back. So right now I've gone with the idea of like, sometimes I know a lot about the guests, and if I don't know a lot about the guests, I'm fine going into it, because the first time we talked to him, I got to ask those questions anyway. Like who, how did it get started? All those kinds of things, kind of starting from the beginning. But even going back and watching people that have been on guests on our podcast go on another podcast, the interviews are never the same, and there's always different topics and situations. So it's not like that it's any kind of issue.
Yeah. Rue Writers also
Mm.
said earlier, the most important thing is give off genuine vibes. Agreed. Luna also said, I think I experienced a ghost encounter in my room because I kind of woke up in the middle of the night seeing an old man trying to exit my room. Interesting.
Mm.
And then we just got from Coldrake, the white animals are messengers of change. They are wisdom keepers and chronicles of earth events, much like human historians. They speak to the ancient past and the vast unfolding future. That's beautiful.
Hmm. We had a white deer that was making a lot of news in the area that we live, like last summer.
Actually, it was our friend.
And what
Was
was on the
always,
news? And it was
but it
always
was
in his
always in
yard.
his backyard. Yeah, a white
Uh-huh.
deer.
Mhm.
When I was in middle school, my mom used to do um, a paper route, which of course is not like on a bicycle. Like that's for kids. Like this was like driving around in your car delivering papers at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I went with her one time, and I remember I slept through most of it. But there was on that particular route in that particular year a white skunk. It was an all white skunk that she would see, and I got to see it that morning when I went with her. I woke up to see the skunk, and then I went back to sleep.
Well, that's probably what's going to happen if you get me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to sleep through it.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I think I probably, I don't really remember, but I think I probably went with her so I could see the white skunk. That was probably the only reason why I went. And I got to see it. It was really cool. I think I've also seen a white squirrel before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your mom used to do that too, Keisha. That's cool. Pepe Le Pew.
Well, let's see. So to kind of catch up on what's going on this week, we'll be back with the regular witching hours on Thursday. For those who jumped in later, we're going to have Raven Willow on. We're going to be talking about the Akashic Records and all kinds of other things. It's to be probably another one of those shows where we don't get to everything, but we'll do the best we can. Tomorrow night, I think we're off. I think we're going
tomorrow in the morning. I'll be on to do readings.
Oh, that's right.
And
So you are okay.
Our dog's vet appointment got pushed back to 4 o'clock, so I won't have to do a short stream. I can just do like a regular stream.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, I think.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say for sure yet because I don't really know yet. But I think that I'm going to perhaps do the 7-hour stream on Friday.
There we go. You heard it. Live on the Witching Hours. Breaking news. Hold on.
I'm going to try to do the 7. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do it. Oh goodness. Yeah, using vinyl records instead of digital. Yeah, they got old school books in there. Got to go get your book off the shelf. Yeah, which I have a whole list of things that we said we were going to do for that stream. We were going to redo the cooking stream since it was jacked up the first time.
Does that mean we get enchiladas?
Yeah, we're going to have, that means enchiladas and margaritas.
All right.
And then we were going to do What's in the Box. We were going to play bracketeering. And then we were going to do fake rock names and fake uses, which I should probably spend a little time coming up with some to make them really funny. Ghost enchiladas, yes. It will not be. I think the ghost of an enchilada would be a fart. So no, there won't be any farts, I hope. It'll be actual enchiladas. I know. I wish I could send the enchiladas through the internet too. Teleport them all over the place.
Although I guess I would say that you have notice now if you need to get your margarita mix and you can have a margarita with.
Yes, you could have a margarita with me while I make them.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm hoping I can do that on Friday. There will be no children going to school that day. There will be no substituting I have to do. The dog's vet appointment will be done with. So hopefully.
So that's Friday, possibly.
Yeah. Hopefully
Starting at
on
what,
Friday.
5?
It would be from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the 7-hour slot. 5 to 12.
Yeah, I think everything worked out last time with the. Is that what you're going to use? Is the laptop?
I was going to do the laptop for the cooking, which
Okay.
we know it works because we did it for the spell jar and the potion stream.
You just have to.
I would
we
just have to
make
like
sure.
switch it.
Mhm.
I have to like in the stream for a minute and then run in here and like start it back up. I could just have it already. Yeah.
You just have to set it up for your stream and not the witching hours, I guess. But we can make that work.
Oh, well, we already had it set up for my stream because we streamed that on my stream.
Oh, did we? Okay, so we're good to go then.
We didn't stream that on the witching hours.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know what I was thinking.
We should have it.
That sounds
both
good.
of them are set up on there.
And I get enchiladas out of the deal, so it's I'm ready. I'm excited.
Our children won't be excited. They don't like enchiladas.
Yeah.
They're weird and they don't eat anything.
So day stream tomorrow, Friday night, possibly the 7-hour stream, enchiladas, margaritas, and all the way till midnight, 5 to midnight. Next Monday is going to be my
next Monday
stream.
is Frosty's birthday stream. Subathon.
Yeah. So we have some ideas for the goals. I also have that set up over on the Discord channel. So if you go over to the
suggestions
of the frost up there at the very bottom is the birthday stream. If you click on the birthday stream channel, there are suggestions over there. So far,
Keisha put a bunch of good suggestions.
Yeah. Well, I took one that Keisha had yesterday. So what we could do is I don't even know if we need to make it a sub goal, but I could do some karaoke. Especially if we have some more margaritas. Yes, my 29th birthday.
His fifth 29th birthday. It might be more than 5, Cole. More than 5. Guar. You gonna sing some Guar? Amber, I totally understand the your kid only eating pancakes for years. Yes. Ours eat. One of them eats like macaroni and cheese.
And Ritz crackers.
And the other one eats like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
But like not certain chicken nuggets and not certain mac and cheese. Children.
All right. So we got a lot, and we'll probably do some Baldur's Gate sometime this weekend, I imagine. I want to weekend. So off we go with that. So that's all the stuff we got coming up. I guess we'll go ahead and call it here, Jenny, unless you got anything else you wanted to talk about tonight.
I think that's about good. Yeah. We've been on for mine says we've been on for 4 hours and 12 minutes. So
there just must have been like a cat stream earlier or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we streamed for a little over an hour for a short stream with no guests, so I guess that's probably good for tonight.
All right, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and do this. I've kind of been forgetting since we've been using StreamYard for the witching hours to go raid out, but let's go ahead and do that tonight. Let's see who we have on. Oh, we got Sheepy on. We got Novia, we got the Mystic Village, but Sheepy was hanging out with us tonight, so let's go.
Oh, I think Kiki Cannon must have just got off.
Just got off. Is there anybody else on yours? Because I don't have everybody followed on the witching hours.
Sheepy, Kids Chaos, Mystic Village, Novia. That's who I've got.
Well, how about I think I rated Sheepy last time, and I have no problem rating Sheepy. I'll rate Sheepy every time.
Novia's doing tarot.
But let's do, maybe we'll do Ex Novia.
Yeah, they're the only one doing tarot right now. Yeah, peanut butter sandwiches. I kind of still do that, Cole. Peanut butter sandwiches. I used to make my mom make the spaghetti with no meat in it. Now I have to do that for one of my kids. Actually, both of our kids. We did cover a lot. You want a peanut butter sandwich, Keisha? What happened?
Oh,
The
hold on.
raid started and then it just stopped.
No, yeah, I know. I don't. Maybe they have raids turned off. I'll try one more time.
Okay. It's counting down.
Oh, it's doing it now. Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody.
Talk to y'all soon.
Bye. See you
Good
later.
night.